Hi guys, how are we doing? It's been a long time since the last episode. I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. I was really having a think about how I can deliver as much value to you guys as possible. And the aim behind the podcast when I first brought it out was how can I help coaches become better coaches and grow their business? And what really occurred to me was there wasn't really anything out there showing how coaches can become better coaches from the practical side of it in terms of the education, how application, all that sort of thing. And then also the how I can build a business side of things. Because at the end of the day, look, we want to become better coaches to get better results with our clients, but we also want to build our business. So I just wanted to go and I'm going to do a lot more of these solo type episodes where I'm just going to be going through a specific topic, whether it be from a business side of things or an actual coaching side of things, or today, which I'm talking about the actual maybe logistics of operating as a coach on a daily basis, just to help you guys level up your business, your coaching delivery, and ultimately, I want you all to make more money. And either if you're in another job, go full-time coaching, or if you are already a coach, elevate your business and just offer some way I can help you along. So that's going to be a lot of the episodes coming out. I'll be in the process of moving, so I'm gonna have a better office setup as well. But for now, this is what we got. I've upgraded my camera, I've got upgraded the mic, so hopefully we're all good to go. And all these will be on YouTube moving forward as well. So today, I really wanted to talk about time management as a coach. This is something I think is a really important topic to talk about because if you go on Instagram and you look about what people are talking about, it's all very sensationalist, the perfect morning routine for productivity or whatever it is. And look, I'm a big fan of a morning routine. I can't lie, but if you need a 3 hour morning routine to be productive, I think something's gone wrong there. So I'm going to talk about the actual things we want to be thinking about, how we can integrate that across the course of a day, a week, and how we can really make the most of our time as a coach without bleeding every single minute dry of our personal life as well. Because as we know, coaching burnout's a real thing. If you spend every waking minute coaching, you're probably going to have a pretty shit life as well. So we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So let's have a little think about what we want to be, I guess, considering as a coach on a daily basis, weekly basis, and how we can sort of allocate some time for it. So obviously, look, check-ins. Check-ins are going to be your bread and butter. That should be your kind of primary consideration. If we're thinking about an Eisenhower matrix, that's going to be your important and urgent side of things. So obviously, it can take a lot of your time. And then we've got the content creation. And a lot of my mentees, they'll say things, maybe when we start working together, I don't like posting content. I don't, and I'm like, well, you're an online coach. It's your playground. I don't know if anyone has PT'd before. I'm assuming everyone kind of has, or at least has some experience with that. When you PT, the way you build a business is you operate around the gym floor, say hello to everyone, you kind of build up some social proof, coaching other people. It's exactly the same online. Your gym is Instagram or social media in general. So you need to have that content creation side of it. You need to allocate time for that. Obviously, allocating time to then post and engage with people on Instagram. I'm not saying you need to go and send loads of cold DMs, which is a terrible strategy for building your business, but there's an element where you need to interact on Instagram. You need time for that, time for education, both from a sales and marketing standpoint, from a coaching education standpoint, from anything which you would consider part of that educational, allocate some time for that. I put emails, which could be newsletters, creating lead magnets, all those sorts of things. And then you've obviously got the rest of it. Like you're an online coach, you're in fitness, you want to be able to go to the gym, you want to be able to eat well, spend hopefully time with your friends and family, and have hobbies outside of this. So how do you manage all those things together? Because I think quite oftentimes when people go into coaching, they go, "Oh, I'm going to be working for myself. I've got all this time." And unfortunately, what happens is, yes, you have got all the time, but you spend all that time working. So let's kind of go through that and see what your day might look like. So check-ins for me, obviously, bread and butter. That's the most important. That's the thing that's going to get you That's your job, right? You're going to get you your money, it's going to get you your reputation, it's providing high quality check-ins and on-time check-ins. And I'm a big believer. We have to get these check-ins across same day. So the way I work is I have a cut-off time. Clients get their check-ins across by 9 a.m. and they'll get that across same day, usually 1, 2 o'clock latest. So I have to kind of set myself up to work for that. Now, give yourself a block of time in which to be able to operate these check-ins. Treat it like a business, and that's something I would really recommend everyone do. You've got, let's say you've got 50 clients, probably earning a decent amount of money. You might have 3 to 5 of your weekly working days as check-in days. You have to operate that in a very efficient manner. Now, I'll go into another video maybe about how to do check-ins. I've got a lot of stuff in this in the Strong Coaching Academy, which I'll link in the description. Making sure that the quality of the check-ins is great, but giving yourself enough time to do that. And if you would consider this, I would say probably your deep work. This is probably the first task that you want to get done of the day. There's a time consideration. Obviously, people checking in on time. You need to get back to them. So blocking off a period of time of your day is going to be massive for this. I typically would say whatever your morning routine looks like, finish that, then get into this and kind of go through. You can break that up. I break mine up with some walks. I walk around the block, walk around the park. Just otherwise, I think I'll lose my mind. But making sure that you've got some system in place, and you again, depending on how many clients you've got, I don't do any more than 30 check-ins of a day. 30 check-ins will probably take me in the region of 5 to 6 hours, something like that. So I'm making sure that I've got a block of time allocated to do that, and that's just check-in time. I might break that with blocks to have food, whatever it may be, but that's the bulk of my day, and I'll put that in my diary. I know I'm working from 8 till X amount of time, whatever day that is. I'll give myself a certain time frame. That's the biggest thing we want to allocate. Then, okay, that might be a certain amount of time in your week. Let's say that 20 hours of your time in a week was doing check-ins. Then we want to think about what's the next most important thing on top of that. It's content creation. So the check-ins essentially doing your job, bringing people into the business. Fantastic. Then we've got content creation. Content creation is one of the key considerations we're going to have from a sales and marketing standpoint to get new clients into the business. We're going to be talking to your ideal client. So we're speaking to them. We're making content, whether it be reels, threads, posts, carousels, anything. And again, I'll talk about this in a future video. It all wants to be linked primarily towards your kind of dream client, your psychographic demographic, making sure you're solving that person's problems. Again, if you're a bit unsure what content to make, all those sorts of things, I will help this out in a future video talking about how to like know what content to make, how to speak to, and how to find your dream client. But we need to allocate time for this process. A lot of people are doing it hand to mouth. Oh, I'm just going to put up a post and it's quite poor quality. It's very generic. That's not going to help. I would allocate a set time across the course of a week. And realistically, this should be like 10 to 15 hours of your week content creation. You want to plan these things out. You want to film it. You want to probably edit it. If you're working, like say you just started off and you haven't got an editor, make sure you're doing these things because that's going to grow business, going to put eyes on you. You don't need to think about going viral or anything like that, but you need to put time into this stuff. And you got to post it. You can use scheduling software like the Social Bee or I've gone blank. There's a couple of scheduling softwares where you can just kind of schedule it all in and it'll post out to multiple different platforms. You can do like YouTube Shorts, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. You can do a bunch of stuff on that. So like again, putting time aside for this, and then the actual engagement of Instagram. So I would kind of block these things in, and you doesn't have to do it on one day. For example, you could have your quietest day or a day that you like completely leave free. You could have that as the day that you just put on for Instagram content. Like I'm going to create content today. I'm going to make 10 videos. I'm going to edit them. I'm going to do my reels or carousels at the same time. I've made my content for the next 2 weeks just by putting one full day into this. Yes, it's probably quite hard to sit yourself down. I mean, listen, we're all self-employed. Sometimes you're like, gotta do this job. But again, remember you're an online coach, you've got to exist in the online space. Setting time aside for these online tasks is really, really important. So putting time aside for that, and then also putting time aside for like your education. So I probably spent like 20 grand last year on various courses, whether it was sales marketing, Facebook ads, short form content creation, business mentors, education calls with other coaches and other mentors, just to make sure I was getting better. So whatever that looks like to you, there's some fantastic courses out there. Obviously, I created Physique Collective with Joe. It's a great resource for that sort of education stuff. There's some fantastic resources out there from sales and marketing, webinars, all these things. Put time aside for that. And this would be one of those things. Once you've got the main bulk of your work done, you would then potentially put a block of like, let's say 2 hours, 2 or 3 times a week to allow for you to get better. I always like to think unless you're getting better, you're getting worse. So you've got to make time to try and get better. Again, you see a lot of coaches like, I want to be a better coach. How much time are you sort of giving to these tasks to become better? None. Like, well, we might struggle there, okay? Then writing emails. So ideally, you have a regular newsletter going out. I can talk about the importance of that maybe at a later date, but putting these things out there is going to be a really big part. Like email marketing is huge. I think it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger as Instagram probably becomes more crowded with online coaches. So getting them off Instagram and talking to them and building up a community of people is going to be massive. I think the world's going to shift, especially with online coaching, to very much a community-based thing. We've seen that with Physique Collective. So making that a focus is huge. So allocating time to write good emails. It's not good enough just to go chuck something into Chat GPT, write me an email. Everyone's going to be doing that. Let's have a personal touch. Let's learn to get better at writing. And certainly copywriting is a huge thing to spend some time on. So those are kind of the day-to-day things, right? And that probably seems like a lot because we naturally as a coach go, oh, I just want to do check-ins. Yep, cool. Where are you going to get your clients from? How are you going to serve your clients? How are you going to do all the other things? And having a structure like that. So obviously we're not in a 9 to 5 world, but maybe thinking of your job like 9 to 5 would be beneficial. And you know how everyone in coaching talks about this 10K a month number. I want to be a 10K a month coach. Okay, that's 120 grand a year. If you saw someone in the real world, because this is obviously not a real world, right? I'm sat in front of my computer talking to you guys. It's obviously not the real world. But if someone was earning 120 grand in the real world, how many hours a week do you think they'd work? Probably not 20 hours a week just doing check-ins, right? They'd probably be working 50, 60, maybe 70 hours a week. Are you putting in that level of effort? Now, I'm not saying you just have to work hard. That's dumb. Everyone can work hard. But spending a bit of time to think, am I working hard enough? Am I putting time aside for this? So I would honestly say if you're not working the equivalent of a 40-hour work week, you probably need to take a good look at that. And so where I would probably break this down, right, and this is the way I do it, is 8 till around about 1 on average, it does differ from day to day, is going to be your check-in times. You're going to allocate your best mental capacity, your most enthusiasm, everything from a time-bound perspective is going to be delivering the best check-ins that you can during that time. Yes, you might want to go for a walk at that time, you want to get something to eat, but you're going to really make sure that the first block of your day is allocated to doing your client check-ins. And then of those other five, like you then got the afternoon, right? You've got 5 days a week. Let's break that down into what can I leverage and what's going to give me leverage within my business. So let's say 2 of the days might be content creation. You might have one day of filming and one day of editing and putting together carousels, things like that. You might have 2 days of education. So one day might be sales and marketing, whatever that may look like, and another day being education. There's some, like I say, fantastic resources out there. You can join an online course and work your way through that slowly. Okay. Education across the board is going to make you better, and you're going to be able to do that. Then maybe another day is spent writing emails, writing copy, writing some of the copy within the posts, the captions, all those things, right? You're probably not doing right now, but it's going to make you infinitely a better coach from everything. You're going to have more knowledge, you're going to have more sales marketing, you have a bigger sales funnel. You're just going to be better off, but also because it's all time bound, you're going to do it. And what this also allows you to do is fit everything else around in life, right? So what happens, and we've all done it, I've done it multiple times, is you end up bleeding time away doing check-ins. You end up, I'm supposed to be finished at 1, I'm now finishing at 4 or 5. Now I haven't got time to these other things. I've got to rush content creation. It's now going to my evenings. Oh, guess what? In the evenings now I'm writing my newsletter and I'm telling myself I'm busy because I'm sat at my desk in front of my laptop. Now I've got no time to spend with my friends, my family, I've got no hobbies, and now I'm going to bed and doing the same thing over again. You never have any time off. And we can we can all sit, I'm laughing because it's we all sit there and go, I'm just hustling, bro, or something like that. Some Sigma male nonsense. But in reality, you're not being very diligent with your time and you've let that bleed into your evenings and had no rest. It'd be like me saying to you, right, you're gonna have no rest days from the gym. Do you reckon you'd be successful? Obviously not. So you need to build in time across your day to have some downtime. Right. I don't believe in balance necessarily, but there's a quote I love. I think I made it up. I'm probably completely chatting rubbish there, but discipline buys you freedom. So if I'm disciplined during the day, I've got some freedom in the evening to spend it with my partner, my friends, whatever that looks like. I can build something out of that. And the more diligent I'm on the front end and how much work I can get done during the day, the better my business runs, the more time I've got, and then I can do things on the other end. So these are all massive components. I actually missed a huge one as well. So I'm going to come back to that. There's going to be obviously plan adjustments, so new client setups, and adjustments that you make to plan. So that could be another part of your day as well. We allocate a couple of hours there. Now, we'll talk about boundaries another time, but having these kind of distinct start end times across your day make a huge difference. Because again, you're an online coach, you're an online fitness coach. You're going to want to train at some point. My preference is I get up at 5:30. It's 5 o'clock at the moment because it's getting bright now. Summer's coming. So I'm getting in the gym for 6, finish at 7, home for 7:30, journal, breath work, shower, eat, into work by 8. I haven't got to worry about going to the gym later in the day, so I know when I finish work, I'm going to be good to go. And I've got my evenings to do life, right? Because we don't want to be sat in front of a desk all day. But I think having a basic structure, like I mentioned there, is going to help you out tremendously when it comes to creating a better coaching business, right? And having some, I guess, expectations of where your time should be spent. So, again, just to kind of summarize, make sure that your working week is a 40-hour week. If you want to grow your business, if you're happy where you are right now, that's fine. But let's make sure we're putting in the relevant effort to be able to grow this thing. Let's allocate what tasks we need to do at the start of the week. So give yourself a set block for check-ins, set blocks for content creation, set blocks for education, and then plan adjustments. Stick to them. Like stick to those times. I'm not saying you need to be so rigid that you can't have any fun along the way. And there's obviously going to be days where things like Loom's not going to work. How many times have we had Loom go down, right? I've had it earlier this week. Loom went down, I think it was on Monday, and time was just eating into it. I had to do a couple of Looms again. I was supposed to be finished at 1, I finished at 4 with my check-ins. Everything bled into the evening, right? It's just one of those things. Sometimes that happens. That's the one of the downsides of working for yourself is the work's got to get done regardless, right? But having this structure so every evening isn't turning into this. I'm sat in front of my desk trying to be productive because I didn't do the work earlier in the day, and then you wonder why you're tired, wonder why you start to hate your job, wonder why you're feeling burnt out. Get the time management right, and everything else will flow downstream of that. So if you can do that, fit the gym, fit your meals, fit life aside that. But like I said, the biggest thing I'm going to see with online coaches is they are just not setting their time management appropriately. So they can't do all the tasks they need to do across the course of the week and then wondering why their business isn't growing. I hope you guys found this kind of different style of podcast helpful. Obviously, the kind of short and snappy ones. And obviously, I'll be putting this on YouTube as well. So I really hope you found this one helpful. If you guys have got anything that you'd like me to cover specifically, obviously respond on YouTube, maybe drop me a message on Instagram. It's Matt_Physique Collective. If there's anything that you guys want me to cover in these things, I will be putting them out on a more frequent basis just because it's going to be me. Obviously, we'll still get guests on, but I think I'm going to try and really get you guys to level up your businesses, provide a bit more value there. And I think, well, hopefully, you guys are going to get a lot from it. So, hopefully, you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. And yeah, that's it from me. Have a great day.